YouTube, Red Sox fan, finally back again with Let's Play Vanilla World of Warcraft. This is episode 52, and I'm here inside the Scarlet Monastery Cathedral, which might sound a bit odd because I've yet to run through either RFK or Scarlet Monastery Armory, but that is because the other day when I logged in to try and find a group to run through any of these dungeons, basically not even 10 seconds after I logged in, I got a message asking me if I wanted to DPS through Cathedral, and it was the last spot they needed. They needed one more DPS, and of course I said yes, because I love DPSing dungeons way more than I do healing through them, so this ended up working perfectly for me. The group I ran through with was a pretty competent one at that as well, I should add. We didn't wipe once, and as you can see throughout the video, the group was composed of a 37 mage, a 39 warrior was a tank, a 38 warlock to round off the DPS position, and then a 39 priest for the heals, aptly named Fatty Heals. Now, unfortunately for me, nothing of value really dropped through the dungeon. I know the end boss, Scarlet Commander Mograine, usually has some good drops, and actually I could have rolled on the leggings, but as you see I just decided to pass because the warrior was the one who needed them, and I felt like it would be kind of a dick move for me to try and outroll him on the need for some male leggings that I can't even wear yet until I'm level 40. Now, with all that having been said, as is the case with all of my Vanilla WoW dungeon episodes, I will get into the background, the lore of the dungeon itself. I will talk about all the different bosses that you will face throughout the dungeon, their loot tables, their strategies, and all the different mobs as well. So, I hope you guys enjoy the episode. The monastery was once a proud bastion of Lordran's priesthood, a center for learning and enlightenment. With the rise of the undead scourge during the Third War, the peaceful monastery was converted into a stronghold of the fanatical Scarlet Crusade. The Crusaders are intolerant of all non-human races, regardless of alliance or affiliation. They believe that any and all outsiders are potential carriers of the undead plague and must be destroyed. Reports indicate that adventurers who enter the monastery are forced to contend with Scarlet Commander Mograine, who commands a large garrison of fanatically devoted warriors. However, the monastery's true master is High Inquisitor Whitemane, a fearsome priestess who possesses the ability to resurrect fallen warriors to do battle in her name. The cathedral, the second entrance from the left, is locked just like the armory, requiring the Scarlet Key, which can be found at the end of the Scarlet Monastery Library, or other unlocking method. It also starts with a cloister, the Chapel Gardens, and is followed by the Crusaders' Chapel, which houses the three bosses. As in the rest of Scarlet Monastery, fleeing humanoids can easily pull lots of other mob groups. Before engaging the final bosses, High Inquisitor Whitemane and Scarlet Commander Mograine, all of the cathedral's interior must be cleared of any other enemies, or they will come to their aid. Hunter's traps can freeze or slow Mograine and Whitemane, so you can have more time for ranged attacks. Another approach is to send either two tanks or combat pets to take the bosses and have everyone else be ranged and healers. Area attacks and other multi-target spells are useful. After Mograine is killed, Whitemane will come through previously locked doors and resurrect him, and they will heal each other to 100% health. For some classes, the cathedral is soloable, starting at around level 50. It is a particularly valuable training ground for hunters, since they can learn much about double mob pulling and trapping here. Warlocks can use the succubus to control humans and prevent them from running. The following enemies can be found throughout the cathedral. Scarlet Centurions, who use melee as their primary method of attack, hitting quite hard and using Battle Shout to raise their attack power. Scarlet Sorcerers, who cast Blizzard, Frostbolt, and Slow. Scarlet Wizards. Their spells and armor are relatively weak. If it is necessary to engage both a wizard and a centurion, myrmidon, or champion at once, tank the melee mob and kill the wizard first. Try not to gather around these guys, since I use Fire Shield and will spam Arcane Explosion if several party members are close to them. Scarlet Champions. A fairly minimal threat one-on-one if you have good armor. However, in numbers, these can be dangerous, especially if accompanied by an abbot who can heal them. Try taking them out quickly, preferably after the healers and casters, since their Holy Strike is quite a pain. Scarlet Abbots. Priority target that has inner fire. Focus fire and kill these as soon as you see them, before any other mobs. Interrupt their spells if you can, and use mana drain spells to prevent them from healing with Renew and Heal. They don't run, but enrage at low HP instead. In addition, library and armory mobs populate the cathedral. High Inquisitor Fairbanks is a former High Inquisitor of the Scarlet Crusade. He may be found in-game as a level 40 elite undead hidden in a secret chamber in the Cathedral of the Scarlet Monastery. Fairbanks was High Lord Mograine's most trusted advisor, and was present during the meeting in South Shore that led to the creation of the Ashbringer. Fairbanks was tricked and led along with the High Lord by Mograine's son, Renault, to Stratholme, where legions of the Scourge awaited them. Fairbanks was the first to fall, but did not die. He was trapped and hidden under the corpses of the undead. He bore silent witness to Renault's betrayal of his father, hearing Mograine's anguished cries as the Ashbringer was plunged through his heart and fouling the blade. Kel'Thuzad later resurrected Mograine as a Death Knight. Making his way back to the Scarlet Monastery, Fairbanks told the tale of betrayal to anyone who would listen. Those who believed him broke away from the Crusade to found the Argent Dawn. Fairbanks was subsequently murdered by the remaining Crusaders for his blasphemy, as well as possibly showing symptoms of the plague. His body was discarded in a secret chamber in the Scarlet Cathedral. Judging by his title, he was succeeded by High Inquisitor Whitemane. As mentioned before, Fairbanks can be found in a secret chamber in the Scarlet Monastery. It is accessible by using a torch on the wall in the right prayer room behind the altar in the cathedral. Entering the monastery with the corrupted Ashbringer equipped will trigger an event whereby High Inquisitor Fairbanks is redeemed by the High Lord's ghost. Talking to him initiates an extensive dialogue with the player, which describes the history of the Ashbringer and how to find the High Lord's other son in Outland, who can forge the blade anew. Despite popular belief, Fairbanks does not actually give a quest to create a new Ashbringer or cleanse the corrupted Ashbringer. The High Inquisitor Fairbanks fight is just a normal tank and spake. He doesn't have any special abilities or anything like that, and afterwards he actually drops 3 pieces of loot, which are pretty impressive. First, the Inquisitor's Shawl, which is a cloth piece of shoulder that has +8 intellect and gives you increased damage and healing done by magical spells and effects by up to 9. Secondly, he drops leather bracers, which give you +4 stamina and +14 attack power. And lastly, he drops a pair of dusty mail boots, which give you +9 stamina. Scarlet Commander Renault Mograine was the young commander of the military forces of the Scarlet Crusade at Scarlet Monastery. He was a level 40 elite paladin boss located in the Crusaders' Chapel of the Cathedral in the Scarlet Monastery. Renault Mograine was a son of High Lord Alexandros Mograine, also known as the Ashbringer because of the sword he wielded against the undead. When the first hint of the Plague of Undeath started to spread around Lordaeron, he lived in a farmhouse in Brill with his father and brother. His mother, Elena, died due to postpartum complications when his younger brother, Darian, was born. He joined the Silver Hand at a relatively young age, believed to be about 15, soon after the end of the Third War. The Grand Crusader Saidan Dathroan, the mortal form of the Dreadlord Balnazar, had struck a deal with Kel'Thuzad, the Lich who served as the Scourge Overlord in the Plaguelands, to kill Alexandros. Dathroan would be in a position to take over the Crusade, and Kel'Thuzad would be rid of a great threat to his hold in Lordaeron. To that end, Dathroan recruited young Renault by promising him great power and prestige in his crusade if he could kill his father. Under the pretext that Darian had been kidnapped by the undead, Renault sent Mograine and his advisor Fairbanks to near the ruined city of Stratholme, the primary fortress of the Scourge in Lordaeron, where they were to be ambushed. Fairbanks fell relatively early on, but Mograine was able to destroy wave after wave of the Scourge attackers. Mograine weakened during the long battle, however, and dropped his sword to the ground. This was the opportunity Renault had waited for. Coming from behind his father, the boy picked up Ashbringer and ran it through Mograine's heart, killing the High Lord and fouling the blade, thus doing both to the service of Kel'Thuzad. As promised, Renault was promoted to Scarlet Commander and sent to the monastery in Tirisfal as Commander of Operations. His treachery would not be forgotten, though, by the now Death Knight High Lord Mograine. His brother Darian and a small contingent from the Argent Dawn entered into the necropolis Naxxramas and destroyed the corrupted High Lord, unaware that the Elder Mograine's spirit still resided in his weapon. Darien took the fouled blade and traveled to the Scarlet Monastery to see Renault. Renault flew into a rage upon seeing the blade in his brother's hands and began beating Darien. However, High Lord Mograine was to have his revenge. Chained to the blade, Alexandros' corrupted spirit appeared in the chapel and confronted his horrified son with his treachery. Alexandros then lashed out, killing the Scarlet Commander instantly. Thus, as had happened in the reverse 5 years earlier, Renault Mograine was killed by his own father, an act of revenge that would not be forgotten by any who witnessed it that day. In the world of Warcraft, Raleigh the Devout in the Hillsbrad foothills instructed Alliance players to kill Mograine as part of the quest in the name of the light, while Bragor Bloodfist in the Undercity instructed Horde players to kill him to fulfill Into the Scarlet Monastery. However, these attempts to end the commander's life seem to have failed, as he, in the end, was slain by his own father's spirit as part of the corrupted Ashbringer event. Mograine and Whitemane were part of a scripted two-part boss fight. After clearing the Crusaders' chapel of the other Crusaders, and trust me, every nook and cranny in the chapel must be cleared to avoid being attacked by the trash during the battle with Mograine, you could safely aggro the Scarlet Commander. He used Hammer of Justice, a 3-second stun, Crusader Strike, increases holy damage on the target, Retribution Aura, and Divine Shield, invulnerability for 10 seconds. He hit hard and could take a lot of pain, but he did not heal. After he died, High Inquisitor Whitemane came out and attacked. Once she reached about 40 to 50% health, she sleeped the entire group and resurrects Mograine. According to popular belief, it is thought that you need to kill Whitemane first, or she will resurrect Mograine again. She does not, but it is good to kill Whitemane first because she would heal herself and Mograine occasionally. If Whitemane was killed before she resurrected Mograine, he became unlootable. This broke the event scripting and was a common problem in similar pre-Burning Crusade events being done by high-level and well-geared characters. If you kill Whitemane, but died while fighting Mograine, then when you went back to the entrance, you would not be able to find him. You would have to go out and reset the instance. The Scarlet Commander's loot table includes 4 different pieces of rare loot. The first and most common is the Aegis of the Scarlet Commander, a shield that gives you +7 spirit, +8 stamina, and +7 strength. The second is Mograine's Might, a 2-handed mace that gives you +16 spirit and +17 stamina, and deals 38.9 damage per second. Unfortunately, this did not drop in the run, or else I would have had a bitchin' new weapon. Thirdly, he can drop the Gauntlets of Divinity, which are mail hands that have +7 stamina and +32 attack. Again, unfortunately, these did not drop in the run, or else I probably would have rolled for them. Lastly, and the piece of loot that did drop in this run, are the Scarlet Leggings that give you +20 strength and +10 stamina, and are part of the Chain of the Scarlet Crusade armor set. High Inquisitor Sally Whitemane is a level 40 elite human boss found in the Scarlet Monastery's Cathedral. Whitemane, a priestess of the light, leads the activities in the Scarlet Monastery. The monastery was once a proud bastion of Lordaeron's priesthood, a center for learning and enlightenment. However, with the rise of the undead scourge during the Third War, the peaceful monastery was converted into a stronghold of the fanatical Scarlet Crusade. Under Whitemane's command, the members of the Scarlet Crusade have become ever more extreme in their battle against the Scourge. Their grasp on reality was slipping, and as time moved on, Whitemane and her followers no longer trusted anyone that was not part of their own Scarlet Crusade, considering them plagued. Large numbers of innocent men and women were tortured and eventually killed because of this. It is known that both Raleigh the Devout in the Hillsbrad foothills and Varimathras in the Undercity are determined to eliminate the leadership of the Scarlet Monastery, albeit for different reasons. The Dreadlord of the Forsaken wishes to end the continued threat of the Scarlet Crusade so close to his capital, and the human in South Shore believes the only way the Scarlet Crusade can be brought back to its original purpose is to remove the corrupted leaders. Before the High Inquisitor enters the fight, players will first have to defeat Scarlet Commander Mograine. The second he falls down, Whitemane will emerge from the room behind the altar and immediately join the battle. Note that like most bosses, she is immune to stun effect. If kept in combat long enough, she will mind control a random party member. When she has about 50% health left, she will shield herself, sleep the entire party, and begin to resurrect the Scarlet Commander. Before the sleep spell wears off, she will heal Mograine to full health, and he will use a lay on hands on her, so they will both be at 100% HP when your party wakes up. A common tactic is to then remain focused on killing Whitemane before dealing with Mograine again. However, as you've seen in this video, the Whitemane-Mograine fight on this realm is bugged, so Whitemane did not in fact resurrect Mograine, so we only had to fight them once each. Being a High Priestess herself, High Inquisitor Whitemane's loot table is very kind to casters. She drops 3 different rare pieces of loot. First and foremost, she drops Whitemane's Chapeau, which is a cloth headpiece that has plus 14 spirit, plus 14 intellect, and plus 9 stamina. Next, she drops the Triune Amulet, a neck piece that has plus 7 intellect, plus 7 spirit, and plus 7 stamina. Lastly, she drops the Hand of Righteousness, a one-handed mace that has plus 8 spirit and increases healing done by spells and effects by up to 15. So everybody, that is it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and listening to all the backstory and lore that goes into this specific dungeon. It is quite extensive, if I do say so myself. So that's it. Until next time, guys, you know the drill. This has been Red Sox Fan. Stay classy and peace out.